RSK, let it play, boy.
What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode on the Arboreal Obscurities channel. Long time no see. I missed you guys. I hope you didn't miss me, but I missed you guys. And so here we are, another installment on the channel. However, today we're going to be actually talking about where we've been, what we've been up to, changes that we've made, changes that we're making, and kind of just where we're going to be for the next couple years. And what this channel is going to really become. That's really what today's episode is about. I'm going to start putting out more content, but I want there to be a clear message as to kind of what that content is. So we are going to kind of kick things off today, talking a little bit about a snake that's very special to me, and then talking about why I haven't been posting as much, a couple issues that I just kind of have across YouTube right now, and reasons I've been a bit more discouraged from wanting to actually put out content. And then also a big part of that is just time. I haven't had a ton of time to make a lot of the content that I want to for you guys, but we have stayed busy. If you haven't noticed already by the sweatshirt that I'm wearing, we put out some merch recently. So there are a couple different merch items. Actually, there's a ton of different items that you can purchase. There's a couple different designs. We have our kind of standard logo with the bar neck and the cynodon and the puffing snake on it. The one that's on, for those of you guys who follow our Instagram, the one that's on our Instagram channel. And then we have this one that I'm wearing right here, which is just kind of like a little fall Boiga cynodon neonate t-shirt that I thought was pretty neat. So I will put a link to all of that merch in the description below at the end of this video for those of you guys who do want to check it out. The support is extremely helpful. Any of that money that comes out of you guys purchasing that, which we don't even take full proceeds from anyways, we get a small percentage, and then that small percentage is going to go back into upgrades for animals or new animals to show you guys, or strengthen colonies for more production for you guys if it's something that's becoming popular, or ways to pay for medical visits if any of this stuff goes south and we need to take an animal to the vet for any reason. So yeah, without rambling, if you guys want to check out some of the new merch, I will drop a link to that below, and I will probably put a screenshot of the page right here. It's going to be Shop AO on Redbubble, and like I said, we have a couple different designs. So they printed on everything from hats, sweatshirts, down to mugs and stickers and coasters, and basically you name it at this point. There's like clocks and bedspreads. So definitely go check that out. Anyways, today's video is going to be talking about Boiga cynodon, and then the changes that are going to be made coming up. Now, as you can tell, this is the snake that we're going to be talking about. For those of you guys who are new to the channel, this is Boiga cynodon, otherwise known as dog-toothed cat snake. This is a very large rear-fanged or Opisthioglyphus colubrid that comes throughout Indonesia. They range into Thailand, the Philippines, Malaysia, very large range actually. And this is actually the largest species of Boiga. The whole Boiga genus is known as cat snakes, or to some people cat-eyed snakes. And most of you are probably familiar with mangrove snakes, but this is going to be the largest species of Boiga. She doesn't really look it right now. This is Ginger, by the way. But Ginger is, she's definitely 9-10 feet long at least. So big snakes. I've read places that these guys cap at about 8 feet. definitely a misconception. I have 3 right now that are all well over 8 feet, like this girl here, and very, very placid species of Boiga. I've met a few people who've said that theirs are a little more cantankerous. These guys, though, are really, really mellow, so long as you're not provoking a strike, and these guys strike slow to begin with, but so long as you're not provoking a strike, these guys are pretty unwilling to actually bite you unless they have a strong food drive or are very sight motivated to striking food. So aside from that, there's not really much to worry about, although they do have some very, very large teeth and fangs for a colubrid. Now, when I say large, like these guys, unlike some of the smaller front teeth on your Nigroceps and your other Boiga, these guys are actually equipped with what would appear when they stretch their mouths to resemble like hinging viper fangs. They have these long front fangs that are recurved, so they are curving backwards to be able to hold on to prey items, and then they have a large set of rear fangs towards the back of their mouth, like all the other ones. And now my theory on that specifically, because they do have some seriously large teeth in the front, and these guys are, if you can't tell, designed to be bird eaters, nest raiders, and the way you can tell by that is just by the shape of this body, those long slender necks, that thin body, that triangular shape. This species is designed to be able to go across just about any thickness of branch and stretch and reach from tree to tree to be able to dip that head into some of those nests when mama bird's away, or even sometimes when mama bird is in there, and she will start with that for her meal, and they will sneak up behind nests and engulf eggs. Other birds, when they are young, they will use that to be able to stretch out and around the backside of tree trunks and things to find lizards or frogs. So they're a very interesting snake. And then because they are egg eaters and bird eaters, my theory here is that these front facing teeth, you won't really be able to see them. I'm not going to mess with her too much, but they have very, very large teeth, and those front facing teeth are going to function the way that they do for something like a green tree python. They are designed to grab a prey item that is passing by, and if they grab hold of it, not let go of it. So large teeth to sink into an actual prey item. And then the rear fangs, whereas when they're young and in adolescence, they are more so designed to do things like puncture and deflate the lungs on frogs or melt little things like lizards and other amphibians. But as they get older, I have noticed, since these guys are now on chicken eggs 80% of the time, now we do vary their diet still with the occasional rodent, maybe some fish even, and then actual chicks as well. A lot of the time these guys are simple enough to just take chicken eggs from the grocery store. They do just fine on them, as you can tell. She's got a beautiful good weight on her. She looks awesome aside from a little bit of nose press, and that's just because her and the male have been locking up again, and she's been starting to dig, which is another behavior that you will see in cynodon when come breeding time, and we'll touch on that in another video. But she is perfectly healthy, and because they will eat eggs when they're larger, I have noticed that when they go about eating those weird shaped eggs that they don't look like they're very designed to do, they'll actually stretch their mouth around it as wide as they can, and then they'll take that back fang and literally puncture it into the egg and almost use it as a walking lever to pull that odd shape of that egg further into their throat so that their front teeth can close around it and actually pull it down. Now, another interesting thing about these guys eating eggs is when they eat them, they don't do it in the fashion that an egg eater would. It's not something that they are sucking down and then breaking in their neck and then draining and spitting back up. These guys actually take down and digest the entire egg, and they sit with those in their belly until they're completely digested, and then they actually do poop out most of the shell. So it's a really, really interesting thing about these animals, and just something cool that I wanted to be able to share with you guys. So since we're on the Boiga topic, and we're more so educating about these little guys, I would like to kind of touch back on what this channel's intentions are, what it's going to become. I don't know if there is a misconception out there or not, just because a lot of the questions that I get asked, but I would like to make myself clear in this video and say that I am not a pet tuber. I am not a reptile education channel per se. I am just a guy keeping snakes, some weirder stuff, I guess, that I'm very interested in, and I have this channel because a lot of these animals I don't believe get enough attention as far as the social media talk goes. I think that they're very incredible, not only animals in the wild, but animals in captivity. They make fantastic pets. They're super, super beautiful. And I just want this to be a place where those of us who are into this weirder kind of stuff can sit down and kind of highlight and focus on it, or learn a new thing or two about it. Boiga have started to become more popular, especially amongst some of the bigger YouTubers that are out there. You get a lot of talk around like the divergens and a lot of the dendrophyla species right now, and then cyanea have become widely popular as well. And I think that it's awesome that there's a lot more people sharing those animals, but I think that a little bit of the downside to it is that there's not a lot of actual talk or information about the animal, and for what there is, it's not entirely accurate most of the time. So that's what I want this channel to be. I want it to be weekly episodes where we take one species that I'm personally working with at home. So for those of you guys who are not interested in any of this stuff, with putting this in the nicest way, you can go ahead and unsubscribe now. You can go find a reptile pet tuber channel. That's totally fine by me. I'll even recommend a handful of them, but that's not what this channel is going to be. This channel is going to be just a weird little obscure snake cave of fun and factual information and or experiences. And we're not going to do like a podcast or anything, but we will probably do episodes in the future that are little live discussions with other keepers that may or may not have YouTube channels as well, or really even that present on social media. And we'll sit down and get some of their opinions and stuff on a lot of this as well. And those will be far and few in between, of course, because everybody's busy these days, especially with COVID and everything going on. But hopefully that also aids in finding a few pockets of spare time to do a couple things like that. So anyways, I'm rambling now. That's what the future content is going to be. For those of you guys who don't know what's changed over here, because obviously this is different scenery behind me. We moved 2 months ago from Phoenix, Arizona to Roanoke, Virginia. Now, for those of you guys who are not in the US that are following, first off, thank you. And second, that's from the western coastal United States all the way to the eastern coastal United States. It's about a 3-day journey. It was a very long drive. We took all the animals ourselves. We took dozens. We took about a dozen precautions on making sure that everybody arrived safely. I didn't have the heart to put my faith in like shipping everything via airfare or anything like that. So I wanted to monitor the situation. Unfortunately, I did not make content for that. I just wanted to make sure that we were driving safe and getting from point A to point B as quick as possible for the animals. And so there's not really documentation on that trip or a lot of what we did, but there are an entire house full of healthy snakes because of it. So I'm sure in another future video, I'll probably go over and discuss what we actually did for those of you guys who are going to need to move with your animals. But until that time, we're just going to leave that at that. We moved from Arizona to Virginia. That is where we're at now. We're out here for Allie's PA program. She's going to school out here, and she will be for the next 2 years. So at the very least, we'll be in Virginia for the next 2 years. But there are changes coming. We have begun kind of importing some more Boiga on our own with the help of our friend Ashley over at Northern Lights and a few other people. We've been able to start accessing some more cool stuff for the collection that I'll be happy to share with you guys soon. We've been setting up a quarantine section in the house, like a pretty separated quarantine section in the house for a lot of that stuff. And because we're in a legal venomous state now, Allie and I, for those of you who don't know, are also very big venomous enthusiasts, so we have been a little sidetracked with adding some more venomous snakes to the collection, which you guys will definitely see future content of. I'm very excited to be able to share a few of the more tropical and unique looking viper species that I hold very dear to my heart, because I'm just absolutely fascinated with them, and that'll be fun content for you guys. One of them's actually sitting up here. We have started working with Wagler's vipers and rhino vipers so far. We have a couple other vipers that I will share with you guys as well, but those are the two I want to highlight in this video because absolute dream animals of mine, always have been. Probably would have been working with them a lot sooner had Arizona not been so tight with what you could and couldn't keep out there. But big changes coming. A lot of new content will be on the way. We'll do, like I said, weekly episodes with everything from cynodon and different species of Boiga, whether they be Guanziensis, Cyanea, Nigroceps. The cynodon, like I said, we have some Jaspidia that should be coming in. Not to spoil things too much, but I will give away one. And then other colubrids that we're working with, like the tiger rat or puffing snakes, the neotropical puffing snakes, mangroves, the pythons that we work with, like scrub pythons, carpet pythons. Some of you guys may not know, but Burmese pythons as well. And then the venomous, like I noted, we're going to do some more content on tokay geckos and really the babies that we've been hatching out this season. I haven't shared any of that stuff with you guys, but we've had a good season so far. We've got a healthy Nigroceps duo and some other stuff. So yeah, before this video kind of times out on me because apparently I need to delete stuff, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning into another episode. I did not forget about you. We do have content coming. It will be a change in content, but I hope that's something that you guys are excited for. As always, please, if you like this video, subscribe below or hit the like button, or if you're crazy, put the notification bell on active and you'll know every time that I post a video. Or you can ignore me rambling. I don't blame you for that either. I love you guys. I will see you on another episode. Until next time, peace.